All right, so is it okay to date a non-Christian? Or should you date a non-Christian? Good question. But is it the right one? All right. My name is Philip, and I used to be the non-Christian in this question, right? I used to be someone that a Christian was considering dating, and I was not a Christian, right? And it's a long story. I won't get into it in this video, but now I am a Christian and very happily married to that same Christian. And don't take that as an answer to your question, because every relationship is unique, right? But yeah, I realize there are not a lot of super objective looks at this question. Most of them are just warning you not to, right? And I think those are good warnings, right? But I think there's a little more to it than that, and I wanted to share my perspective. All right, I'm gonna guess, and maybe wrongly, that if you're watching this video, you are either considering dating a non-Christian, or you know someone who is considering this, and you're looking for some advice, right? And I just want to give you a brief warning that if you're looking for someone just to agree with what you already believe, you want some support to help convince this friend or convince yourself that this is okay or that this is not okay, be careful, because if you look long enough on the internet, you'll find someone who agrees with you, and that's not going to help you find out what Jesus wants for you, right? Okay, so going forward, now, asking, should I date a non-Christian, is not really the first question you need to ask, right? And maybe you've already asked the correct question. And the correct question is, how is my relationship with Christ, right? And you're like, that's not helpful. I know I'm supposed to check on that, right? But Christ is our foundation, right? And if we're gonna look at starting a new relationship, we need to make sure that our most important relationship is good. And so if that's not good right now, and you need to really ask yourself and dig deep to find out whether this is true or not. And then if it's not, then you need to pray about it, and you need to go into your support system and get better. Join a small group, talk to an accountability partner or a close friend, a family member who you trust, and work on, just getting comfortable with God and making sure that you're trusting God and that you're lifting up all the things you need to lift up to Him, right? And then, if your relationship is not good and you're like, oh, I don't know how it is right now, then you should probably go and work that out. But if you've already worked it out, then you can move on to the next, right? So if your relationship with Christ is good, then you've probably already prayed about this, right? If you haven't, you need to pray about it and ask Jesus, and give Him enough time to respond, right? Half a week is probably pretty reasonable. Though, God does what God does, and He knows what's best. So it may be longer, shorter, who knows? But you definitely need to start by asking Christ about this first, right? And once you really lift this up to God, you're going to be kind of more aware of what might be construed as signs, right? There's going to be cues from this person, because you're probably still talking to this person while you're making these decisions, right? And yeah, just lift everything up to God. And if you get to a point where you don't feel like you've received an adequate answer, then you just need to trust God and move forward, right? And I would basically do is say, Jesus, I don't know what you're guiding me to do, so I've decided I'm going to do this. I'm either not going to date this person, or I'm going to date this person, right? And then you need to say, Lord, help me with this, guide me. If this is the right thing, then help me go through with this. And if it's not, then help me stop, right? And then you just need to go forward in faith, right? Because every relationship with Christ is unique, and every relationship with another person is unique. And you should remember that in the Bible, a prophet was once called to be with an unfaithful person, and that led to a lot of challenges, but it was part of the plan, and it was part of what was best for everyone involved ultimately, right? And so I'm not saying that you need to be unequally yoked with someone, but God is great, and He knows what's best for you. So that's where you need to go to focus, right? And yeah, I hope that was helpful. Beyond that, it's really going to depend on your individual situation. You really need to kind of trust the people around you, but always remember that you need to trust Christ first, right? And trusting Christ first doesn't mean, doing what you want to do first. There's basically what you want to do, what your loved ones around you want you want to do, and what Christ wants you to do. And figuring out who is guiding you which way is a little bit challenging. But if you lift things up to Christ and you focus on Christ as your foundation, then everything should really work itself out, right? And so it's very roundabout and maybe not the most direct answer that you wanted, but this is really what you need to do to answer this question. So I hope that was helpful, and this is just my perspective, right? This may not work for you. I think it should. It's pretty generic and straightforward. But I'm not Jesus. I'm not anybody special. But this is my perspective, having kind of been on the other side of the coin. And I thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, if you didn't like the video, dislike the video and let me know. And if there's something you think I should change, then let me know. And maybe I'll change that, because I don't want to be putting a video out there that is negatively impacting people. But I think this is advice that I wish I had, or I wish that I had to give to people in the past. And so, thank you for watching. I hope you are having a good day, and God bless you.